So hello guys. I'm gonna make this as simple and candid as possible. So first, I'll start with what happened during my first semester and first year in UP. I can barely remember what it feels like to be as free as I was back then. I was not sold on the idea of committing myself to an org simply because I had just come from ending a 4-year term as part of my high school student council. I was not about to start tiring myself out again. But I felt like I was missing out on something. I just didn't know what it was. I was curious to know how it felt to be a bum, and boy, it felt liberating. I absolutely loved it. And, I still don't really remember how life was interesting back then now that I'm so busy with school. But anyway, some of my batchmates were applying for this org called UP Junior Marketing Association. All I knew was that it was a party org, and it was really the in thing with the freshmen. These, however, were not the reasons that led me to join JMA. I didn't have as many friends in freshman year, only Kat, my batchmates, and my old friends from AC. Incidentally, 2 of my old friends from AC were both VPs in JMA, and were persistent in encouraging me to join. But still, this was not enough reason. What really did it was this encounter with an old friend of mine. I told her I was planning to join JMA, and all she said was, with a look on her face that I really still can't decipher to this day, just don't change. I never got to ask her what she meant by that and why she said it. I do know, however, that whatever it was she meant to imply, it made me curious as to what kind of change would occur if I joined, and this is what led me to apply for JMA. Today, with conviction, I say that of the many life-changing experiences I've had in college, nothing compares to the change I experienced thanks to JMA. As much as I want to talk about my JMA experiences and how they have shaped me into who I am today, I will instead talk about my 2 greatest loves in JMA. The first being SPR. SPR has a very special place in my heart. As an applicant, I was under the guardianship of Meg Panopio, the SPR VP at that time. Meg and I go way back, and because we both served the council together when we were in high school. She is one of the people I truly look up to, and she is without a doubt one of the reasons I am an SPR. Her passion for the committee was so inspiring and infectious that it was hard not to be part of it. And in retrospect, I realized that what really drew me into SPR was its people. I found solace and happiness in JMA because of SPR and the people in it. Next to this was the kind of work that SPR does for JMA that not everyone can easily identify. It's been a perennial problem for both apps and even memes to be confused with what SPR really does and what makes it important to JMA. Even as a young Spartan, I could only define SPR by its chill vibe and the types of people in it, aka batak and or hot, and the values in it. Other than that, what is SPR really about? Which brings me to my second greatest love, marketing. I was fortunate enough to know that early on in my BA life, BA is really the course for me. I knew this the moment I attended my first BA 170 class, Introduction to Marketing. So BA Sophies, it gets better. Even more awesome is the fact that I have grown to love in an org, and the only org I happen to be active in is a marketing association. So I love marketing, I'm in a marketing association. How awesome is that? The only problem is the two don't necessarily match, especially in the role that marketing plays in bringing out SPR's role in JMA. This is where I believe I can make a difference. My main objective as SPR VP will be to re-establish SPR's identity as JMA's PR arm and increase PR efforts by strengthening campus relations and giving new life to social responsiveness. But I'm not about to make my speech sound just like my GPOA. And since I've already talked about my 2 greatest loves, let me take this opportunity to tell you more about myself. This is how I think people perceive me to be. Quiet but friendly, distant at times, not always visible, always leaves early from events because of Edgar, my strict dad, gets drunk easily, ugly and mixed grade maths. While all these perceptions are true, I think there is more to me that only few have seen. Maybe because I'm just not as vocal about the things I do and about who I am. So who am I and what do I do? I am a third-year BSBA student majoring in marketing because it's fun. And I'm not afraid to admit that my GWA is below loudest standing, but I'm trying to work my best to work my way up. I hate numbers and you can't trust me with money or math, but what I lack in this area, I make up for in terms of creativity. I work hard when I know that what I'm working for is worthwhile. I take work seriously, but I'm not being serious when I work. And I do what I set my mind to, even if it means stepping out of my comfort zone. Honestly, I was only sure of running during the last day, which is the day of the candidates' orientation. Before that, I was more than convinced that maybe there were other places for me to grow and other things to look forward to. After all, I spent a good deal of my college life in JMA, but I knew I couldn't lie to myself, and that at the end of the day, I will still come back to JMA. There is still room for growth in JMA, and there is still a lot to look forward to. With the kind of events we've had recently, like Take Two, Doggy Day Fair, Diversity, who knows what's next? An important factor in my decision making as well is this year's action-packed Comm Wars. I got to know more people and picked up some good lessons because of it, and I have to say, I was really overwhelmed by how active our new members were, and I was so inspired by their passion for the committee. The twinkle in their eyes assured me that when the time came for them to lead JMA would be in good hands, and SPR would be in good hands. Indeed, it is because of them that I feel JMA is worth all the time and effort I will commit if I become SPR VP. In my mind, JMA can still be so much more than what it already is. So I hope that you trust and that I can do this, and that I have more to offer to JMA. Thank you.